Precision oncology and the scam of immune checkpoint inhibitors in cancer. Precision oncology refers to a new paradigm of genetics in cancer that has so far, after a couple of decades, proven to show very little merit while costing taxpayers millions upon millions of dollars. The interesting thing about precision oncology and this idea that genetic defects and genetic mutations are a causative agent for cancer, while sounding somewhat logical, has lost much of its prestige in natural medicine over these decades, as the concepts of epigenetics have overshadowed the genetic blueprint model. This simply means that we can and do affect our genetic code by our nutrition, environmental effects, and even perception of our balance when we look at health from a holistic perspective. So while I believe the genetic model is dying, it's still incredibly well funded in biotech. So the push goes forward with a ton of failing drugs. One of these categories of drugs are called immune checkpoint inhibitors. The idea is to target specific genes that are supposed to be triggers for specific cancers. The problem is that even if this concept somehow proves effective in the future, which up until now it has largely failed, there would have to be a unique drug molecule for each of many genes that are now being flagged as potentiators in various cancers. And all these drugs typically have significant side effects that can even be life-threatening. On top of this, it has been studied, and the minimal benefits shown in some studies with immune checkpoint inhibitors were also shown at a dose level of 1/10 to 1/20th of the original dose. These lower doses tend to lower the side effects, but are unsupported by the industry simply because they are less profitable. Pharma companies are charging up to $500,000 a year on these questionable drug regimens. They employ dirty tricks like only selling larger dose increments of these medicines that are only effective briefly after opening the package. Now that you know how great the immune checkpoint inhibitor drugs are, you're probably itching to get into one of these drugs' clinical trials. But if I were you, I'd avoid that. We'll go over the general fraud of cancer clinical trials in another upcoming video. You can read more into the references in this book, Cancer Incorporated by Ralph Moss, and visit me at forbiddentreatment.com for more references and info. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for longer videos at rumble.com/PsyopTruth. That's PsyopTruth. See you next time.